This episode starts off with Ippo reminiscing about his fight last night. No rhyme intended. He's thinking back to his first uppercut that he landed, which originally we all thought he missed, but ended up grazing the tip of Miyata's chin. He's thinking in his head, I wonder what Miyata's gonna say. He's just overall ready to talk about it with his newfound training partner. He makes it to the gym and starts punching the heavy bag, but they're like, Ippo, gang, you just finished the fight, bro. You should be at home resting. And he like, oh, damn, that's what I'm supposed to do? That's probably where Miyata's at right now too. So he just heads home and comes back the very next day. He's doing his sit-ups, waiting on Miyata to walk in, and he see the door open, but it's just Aoki and Kimura. So he go up and ask him, he's like, hey, y'all seen Miyata anytime recently? Yeah, we just ran into him while he was doing his road work. So that got Ippo feeling some type of way. He's like, wow, so he is training. Why hasn't he came in yet? And he's just there punching the bag slowly. That's when pop out behind him, like, why you throwing these little girl punches? He like, nah, I'm just thinking about Miyata. I'm wondering what happened to him. I ain't seen him since the fight. Miyata ain't been in. Of course he ain't been in. Ippo's like, what? He just lost to yo bum ass. If that was me, I'd quit boxing forever. Ippo's like, he quit boxing? And Takamura like, yeah, man. I wouldn't be surprised if he never comes back. Ippo's like, ain't no way. But was just messing with him. He like, don't even worry about it. So next we see Ippo on a mitts with Gramps. Gramps is on his head. He's like, use more strength. Don't depend on just your right, use your left more. You're not using your hips. Step in, step in. And Ippo's like, damn, all right, let's do it. And so he punching, but Gramps not satisfied. He smack him up like, put your guard up. This ain't how you normally move. And just throws his mitts to the ground. He's like, I can't do it with you. Go do your road work. And Ippo's like, why? I'm doing the best I can. And he's like, I said, go do your road work. So Ippo goes out running and Yagi's like, damn, I thought he looked pretty good. But Grim said he looked good, but it didn't feel nearly the same as when he was getting ready for his sparring match with Miyata. And Yagi's like, so since Miyata's not here, he don't got that passion inside of him no more. And Gramps is like, this ain't good. If he keep moving like this, I'm not going to be able to put in his application for the pro certification exam. Then they see Takamura in the cut working on his punches. They're like, hey, at least Takamura's doing good getting ready for his next fight. And Gramps is like, yeah, his fighting spirit never fails to impress me. Maybe I'll leave the kid with Takamura for a little while. And Yagi's like, I think that's a little crazy. You know, Takamura's training menu is insane. But Gramps is like, that might be exactly what the kid needs right now. So when Ippo gets back, Gramps throws him right back on some more road work. He's like, you following Takamura today? And Ippo's like, Gramps is like, yes, now hurry up. So Ippo catches up. He's like, I'm kicking it with you from now on. Takamura like, all right, bro, this ain't gonna be easy. So he starts his running. And Ippo's like, okay, but I should be able to keep up with him. Then kicks it up a notch. He really start running. And Ippo's like, damn, okay, I gotta lock in. But I done did plenty of work on my legs, so I should be good. But as they continue to run, Ippo starts to fall further and further behind. He like, how long is this gonna keep running? But Takamura started talking about his match. He said his opponent up until now has won by straight knockouts. But if he take one of my punches, he not even gonna be able to last through the first round. He looked back at Ippo for a second and sees him falling behind, and he's like, ah, damn, let me take a quick stop. So he stops and does some form practice. When Ippo catches up, he's like, finally. But Takamura dashes off again. He's like, here we go. We get to see Ippo holding the punching bag, feeling Takamura's punches through the bag. We see him doing squats. We see him doing jump rope. And he's like, damn, how is he doing so much with a completely empty stomach? He's going crazy. Turns out this whole time, Takamura's on a crazy diet in order to meet the weight requirements to fight in his weight class. When they finally stop jump roping, Ippo's like, okay, we done for the day. But then Takamura says we going running once again. Ippo's like, bro, I can't do this. This is too much. It's too difficult. At this rate, I'ma just get in his way. So he started telling Takamura, he's like, you know, you really amazing. You could do all this hard training without being instructed to. He like, nephew, don't ever say no lame shit like that. You saying you can't do nothing unless someone on your Ippo's like, nah, it's not that. It's just, I'm kind of been lonely because Miyata ain't shown up recently. And Takamura instantly stops and looks him dead in the eye. You ain't come to our gym to find friends, did you? And here whole time, I thought you was trying to become a boxer. You ain't never gonna make it as a pro with that mindset. And he just runs off. So Ippo's back in the locker room and he just feeling down. Takamura like, time to go home, yes sir. But when he notices that Ippo's down, he's like, my bad about that one, nephew. I ain't mean to yell at you. It's just, you know, when I'm hungry, I say all types of stuff because of the anger. How about this? Pull up to my crib tonight. And Ippo's like, really? He like, yeah. Ippo's like, really? He's like, yeah, bro, you good? And Ippo start jumping up and down in excitement because he said it's been years since anybody invited him to his house. So they walking over there and Takamura's like, this really got zero friends. But when they get inside, Ippo finds nothing but a big mess. He got trash everywhere, magazines everywhere, not no normal type of magazines, bro. Look at that. Unk offers Ippo some noodles as he pulls out his own dinner. That tomato's gonna be your dinner for the night? He's like, yeah, don't mind me, go ahead and eat up. When you a top-notch boxer, a little diet ain't shit. And Ippo's like, wow, Unk really make this shit look easy. It's like he was born to be a boxer. So while Ippo's eating, he asked Takamura, what made you get into boxing? Turns out Takamura used to be a thug. He used to get into fights all the time, and that's when Gramps pulled up and introduced him to the sport. He was like, alright, I ain't got nothing else better to do. But he ended up winning his debut match, and when he heard the crowd applause, he fell in love with the feeling. And Ippo's eating this shit up. He like, you so real. Your story's amazing. Takamura like, shit, okay. Shit, you gonna stay the night? And Ippo's like, yeah. But in the middle of the night, Ippo see Takamura grimacing. Thinking to himself like, damn, I'm so hungry, it feel like a hole in my stomach. And he gets up and goes to the other room to do some shadow boxing and ease the pain. But even that wasn't working. He makes his way to the fridge and is fighting himself not to open it and get something to eat. After he resists, he goes back to bed, and Ippo's thinking to himself like, damn, how could I think it's so easy? Of course it's difficult. How could I be so dumb? So the next morning, we see Ippo and Unk doing their training. But now Ippo locked in. He not worried about, I can't do this, I can't do that. He's moving with intention now. So Takamura goes out on his running, and Gramps is on Ippo's ass. He's like, hurry up, Unk already gone. And Ippo looks back like, I got you. And Yagi's like, it looked like your plan worked perfectly. Of course it did. Now he got the face of somebody who can actually be in the ring. So Yagi goes ahead and sends in his application. While they're on road work, Ippo tells Unk that this is going to be his first boxing match that he's going to watch in person. And Unk is like, say less. I'm going to show you what a real fight looks like. So fast forward to the day of the fight, Ippo's waiting for Takamura to step out. As he shows up, everybody cheers, so we get into the fight. His opponent's keeping Unk on the defensive. People in the crowd talking, they're like, what, you forgot how to fight? And he throws a heavy right towards Takamura, but he barely manages to block it, then sends a right of his own, completely knocking this man out. Look at him, bro, he ain't have a chance in the start. When they lift Takamura's arm up as the winner, the crowd goes crazy, and Ippo's set. From there on, he wants to stand in the ring too. As he's leaving the arena, he runs into Miyata. Miyata basically lets him know that he's quitting Kamigawa Boxing Gym, but not because he's embarrassed, but because their score is tied 1-1, and the next time that they fight is gonna have to be in a real professional ring. And Ippo's like, I wouldn't want it any other way. So Miyata sets it. The final match of the Eastern Japan tournament. That's the only place I'll wait for you. And Ippo's like, say less. But before he's even able to enter any tournaments, he has to become a pro. And the next time we see him is the day of his certification exam. He's on his way there with Takamura, and he's looking around like, damn, everybody looks so strong. And Unk like, don't even do that, bro. You finna psych yourself out. But then he notices Ippo starts to stare. Turns out he sees old girl from the other day who passed by him while she was on her bike. And that's how you know he messed up, cause Unk right there with him. You can't show no signs of that. I'm surprised Takamura didn't embarrass him right there, but he wanted to focus on his exam, so they both head in. So Ippo goes in and gets his weight checked. He real nervous. They like, all right, number 12, 124.5 pounds. And so he steps off the scale and looks at dude behind him. He just looked crazy menacing. Ippo thinking, damn, he looked kind of scary and strong too. Turns out he's in the same weight class at 125.6. Back at the arena, Takamura's just chilling there when the hating ass reporter from the Miyata fight pulls up. Turns out he's here to watch Ippo, but also watch another fighter who caught his attention. At this point, Ippo's in there taking his written exam. Earlier, Takamura told him that Miyata had already passed the exam, so he feels like he needs to catch up, or at least not fall behind. Ippo's so nervous that he broke his pencil, and when he tried to pick up another one, he spills all his pencils and erasers on the ground. And so the dude sitting next to him offers him like, hey bro, you could use mine. And when he bows his head trying to say thank you, he hits himself with the pencil, and everybody just laughing at him, thinking he a joke. So when they make it out the written test, he goes up to bro, he's like, thanks for your kindness earlier. My name's Ippo. He like, nice to meet you, Ippo. And they shake hands, but same dude from earlier just walks right through him, and for no reason punches this random ass board on the wall. He in the back thinking like, what is bro's problem? So now it's time for that actual sparring. But Ippo's not even in the arena at this point. He's over in the bathroom practicing his moves because he's so nervous that he's gonna mess up. Takamura pull up on him and is like, bruh, you gonna be good. Just do what Chief taught you. Give him a slap on the back to cool his nerves and send him back up there. So they call Ippo's number and he steps into the stage. He looks up at the lights and is amazed. He's never been on such a big stage before. The ref is like, all right, y'all, don't worry too much about winning or losing. Just try and show off all the basics that you learned at your respective gyms. So Ippo starts muttering to himself like he normally does. His opponent remembers Ippo from the written exam. He like, oh, I looked out getting this chump, and the bell rings, so they start the fight. Ippo heads in and his opponent is just way too cocky. He throws a right and Ippo smooth dodges it. So he like, what the f? And starts going back in, throwing hella punches, but Ippo's dodging each and every one of them. Ippo thinking this like slow motion compared to Miyata's speed, so he just keeps dodging and dodging. His opponent getting stressed because like I said, he was confident that this was going to be an easy win. He throws a left and Ippo easily dodges it, following with his own left and then a heavy right. He knocks this man so far back he damn near flips over, sending his mouthpiece flying into the stands. Everybody in the stands surprised like, damn, he kinda nice. Next up is the dude that handed him the pencil and the scary looking dude who punched through the wall. Ippo looks up at him and he looks right back at Ippo and smiles on some low-key weird shit. So the round starts between the two of them, and the first thing that this dude do is drop his arm so it's down at waist level. He starts rocking it back and forth, gradually speeding up. My mans don't know what he's about to do. Out of nowhere, he hit him with a crazy ass jab and just starts unleashing them all on this dude. Takamura's talking with the reporter and they explain that this is a flicker jab. The rush of jabs alone is enough for the ref to stop the fight, but this man pushes the ref out the way and continues boxing. Ref's like, ring the bell, ring the bell. But my man's is already out on the ground. This crazy, bro. Both Takamura and the reporter say he's way beyond applicant level. As they're leaving the exam, the reporter pulls up on him and introduces the two. This dude's name is Mashiba. He don't even give no introduction or nothing. The only thing he says is that as long as we're in the same class, you never gonna reach the top. Ippo step up a little bit, he get a little backbone, basically tell him, ain't nobody worried about what you talking about. I'm gonna make it to the top of the class cause I got somebody to meet up there. And he just walks off. So a couple days pass and Ippo rushes into the chief's office. Yagi go ahead, pull right out of his briefcase Ippo's pro boxing license. So Ippo heads back on his way home, but look who he bumps into. King f***ing Doodoo shirt and his two buddies. They like, lately we ain't seeing you around. We saw you head into a boxing gym. You trying to train to get revenge on us, ain't you? And they trying to act here all menacing, cracking their knuckles. And Ippo like, nah, that's not even it. And bro shoves his bag right to the ground. They pick up his license and like, professional boxing license registered with Kamagawa Gym. And they look at him like, nah, it's probably a fake one. He probably just bought one online or something. Ippo's like, hey bro, give me that back. But they straight ignore him. This chump's professional boxer, how about we go ahead and test out how strong he really is? And they both go to punch on him, but he weaves both of them easy. They like, ain't no way he just did that. Ippo better than me, cause I smooth would have hit on both in the face with a little jab, just to get revenge on all the times they was whooping on me, but to each his own. He quickly grabs his license back and he talk his shit on his way out like, I ain't start boxing for no lame ass reason like revenge. I do it cause I love boxing. And as he runs off, they're just astonished. They can't believe what they just seen. The next time we see Ippo, he's at the gym. He's trying to get some punches in on a heavy bag, and Takamura's on the other side like, not bad, Ippo. And he like, yeah, let's go. But Takamura was trolling. He punched it back and knocked Ippo straight to the ground. All of a sudden, Fuji walks in. Fuji, that's the reporter. I kept calling him hating ass reporter. His name is Fuji. But he walked in with some videotapes that he wants Ippo to look at. First tape he shows is a video of Miyata winning his debut match in like a minute and a half. And he like, damn, Miyata's amazing. But the next tape he shows is of Mashiba. He used his flicker jab to instantly get a KO in his debut match. Ippo's like, damn, that's who I gotta go up against. And he starts walking back to practice. Takamura give him a slap on the back, loosen up the nerves. He like, you should be happy. Looks like you got a lot of competition in the featherweight class. But after Ippo leaves, he looks over at Fuji like, you kid, why you had to show him that, knowing damn well these two is way above amateur level. Fuji like, I'm surprised Ippo don't realize he's way above amateur level. He's got crazy destructive power, but he just doesn't even notice yet. So Ippo's in the bathroom washing up when Yagi calls his name. He's like, I got good news. That's when Gramps tells him the opponent for your debut match has officially been selected. Turns out Ippo's gonna be boxing this guy named Yusuke Oda. Takamura like, Oda? No way. And Ippo getting all scared like, you know who he is? You know damn well he don't know who that is. And Gramps doesn't know who it is either. So Yagi starts reading off his stats. He's 21 years old, got 5 total matches with a 3-2 record. All 3 of his fights were won by a KO using a straight right. But after asking around, Ippo was able to find out a little more about him. Aoki tells him that he's a junior light, which is 1 class higher than Ippo is, but since he can't get ahead there, he's dropping a class to try and make it easier. But considering he's still this low in the ranks, the fight should be an easy dub. So we see Ippo doing some road work and he's like, damn, he's got way more experience than me, I gotta stay sharp. On the flip side, we see Nishikawa Boxing Gym, which is where Oda trains. We see his trainer looking left and right, trying to figure out where he is, and somebody's like, oh, he went to go do his road work. But it's been damn near 3 hours and his trainer's getting hot. Turns out Oda's got a big reputation for slacking off. We see him sitting at some cafe with this girl. He's just chatting about some random story when she's like, Yusuke, shouldn't you be heading back to the gym? I know you got a fight coming up soon, right? And he like, what? You think I'm about to lose? And she like, nah, I just think you should focus on your training a little more. And he's like, man, it's whatever. But then that's where his trainer finds him. So he runs into the cafe and starts chewing him out. Turns out his trainer is his girlfriend's father. Yusuke's like, why are you so mad? Is it because of last fight? I told you, I would have won if I was able to land my punch. All he did was dodge all my punches and ended up winning by points. And the trainer's like, you know why you lost? Cause you ain't got no damn stamina. You gassed out in the third round cause you never do your road work. You got enough skill that should have been an easy dub, but look at you, you lost. So then the trainer has a flashback about when he first found Oda. Oda's right punch was so amazing, it made him believe that he had the talent to not only become the champion of Japan, but the entire world. But in reality, that right punch was all he had. He just runs in swinging, and if it doesn't land, he won't win. But the trainer tells him, your next match is really gonna be a humbling experience. And Oda's like, stop it. This is his debut match. It's gonna be an easy win. But trainer tells him that there's a rumor going around about his spectacular knockout at the pro certification exam. Hopefully he's able to smack you into shape and get rid of that rotten spirit of yours. And turns out if he loses this match, it's gonna be his last. The gym isn't gonna sponsor him anymore because he don't try hard enough. And finally, I got no intention of leaving my daughter with a bum like you. If you don't win this next match, you ain't never gonna see her again. And I'll make sure of that. So now he just looking dumb as they both leave him. We get a view of Ippo training and he's going through some intense workouts. He's getting smacked in his stomach with some type of big ball. I don't even know, bro. But regardless of how much it hurt, he's like, do it again. You can see how serious he's taking this. Then we go back to Oda doing his quote unquote road work. Look at him, he looks sorry. His girl sees him and she's happy he's at least putting in some effort. But as soon as the truck goes by, he disappears. Turns out he cut road work in order to lay down on a park bench. He's skipping all the hard work, all the training. His girl's like, damn, maybe Pops was right. So fast forward, she's having some noodles with a friend when Ippo, Takamura, and Kimura pop up. Aoki's there working behind the counter and they all sit down and talk about Ippo's upcoming match. Kimura and Aoki are basically talking Oda. They like, he gutless, he ain't got no stamina, and the whole time his girl is right there listening. They don't even know. Ippo's giving him the benefit of the doubt though. He's like, but he's one rank above me. If one of his punches do land, it could really do some damage. But Kimura doubles down. He's like, a sporadic right punch is never gonna connect no matter how much he flail it around. His girl feels bad, but overall I feel like she just embarrassed that this is what he's known for. Aoki's like, you know what, if you're that worried about the fight, I'll go ahead and tell your fortune. So he pull out a deck of cards and Kimura's like, oh, there he goes. And Takamura's like, you know, he's never been wrong. So Aoki do what he gotta do and pulls the best card. He like, Ippo, it's your lucky day. You got extra luck on your card. But Kimura and Takamura are trying their hardest not to laugh. They can't do it. They start busting out in laughter. Both Ippo and Aoki like, what's so funny? When Ippo and Takamura are leaving the noodle place, he asks them like, why were y'all laughing? He said, I got the best card. And Takamura's like, it's true that he's never been wrong, but all of his fortunes actually predict the complete opposite. So you actually got the worst outcome. Ippo like, ain't no way, bruh. Now he's even more nervous to fight this man Oda. Speaking of Oda, Reiko, his girlfriend, meets him outside of the gym after he leaves. She's like, you're done already? It seems like everybody else in there is still going at it. And he like, you know me, my baby, I'm a natural. I don't gotta put in as much work as them. But she smacks his hand. She go ahead and ask him, are you really a bum like my father say? And so he grab her and turn her around and she's on the verge of tears. She's like, you're making me lose faith in you. You always all talk. She go ahead and explain what happened earlier with his opponent's friends talking trash about him inside the noodle shop. She's like, I've been thinking about it for a while, but if you can't show some discipline and win your next match, I'm breaking up with you. So now he's sitting there looking goofy. But instead of just staying there and being a bum, he decides to go back inside and start putting in some work. He pull up to his trainer like, teach me at any cost, just teach me. I gotta win now. I don't care if it's by points. I don't care if it's by time. I don't care what it's by. I need to win by any means possible. So the trainer's like, all right, we'll start first thing in the morning. But Oda's like, nah, we gotta start now. He throws the mitts to him and Oda starts actually putting in some work. He got some passion behind him now. So then we get a big montage of Ippo putting in work, Oda putting in work, all leading up to the big fight. So at the weigh-in, they're both sizing each other up. Oda gives Ippo this death stare. From his point of view, he was the one that was talking about him and caused his girlfriend to break up with him. But Ippo don't think he got any reason to be upset. So he walk up to him trying to introduce himself, but Oda not going for none of that. Ippo's talking to Chief like he's nothing like y'all was saying. He don't look gutless at all. But nonetheless, they both got to get in the ring. So as Ippo's walking through the tunnel, he sees the stairs which leads up to the arena. He's feeling nervous as per usual, but Gramps say ain't no time for that. We gotta lock in. So they walk up up the stairs and Ippo steps into the light. The crowd notices him and they start to cheer a little bit, but he can't get distracted. So he climbs into the ring, ready for his first match. The first match of the featherweight class is ready to begin. In the red corner, from Nishikawa Gym, weighing 124.5 pounds, Yusuke Oda! And Yusuke looks at the crowd, but then looks specifically at Reiko. In the blue corner, from Kamikawa Gym, weighing 124 pounds, Ippo Makunochi. Ippo go and do his little polite thank yous to the crowd, and of course the gangs that support him too. So Ippo's ready for his debut, and Oda knows he has everything on the line. If he loses now, he loses it all. So the bell rings and Oda starts out blazing. He pushes Ippo right into a corner swinging, but Ippo's able to dodge it. But then he connects his first right, which Ippo's able to block, but he's like, damn, that's tough. Oda keeps his foot on the gas. He continues with a combination of rights and lefts, and Ippo hasn't been able to do anything yet. After dodging for a little while, he's able to land a couple jabs with his left and throw his first right, which completely breaks Oda's guard. He had already heard about Ippo's punches, but not even he was expecting that type of power. So now they both rush towards each other, and Ippo takes a counter punch after missing his. So they exchange blows for a minute until the first round ends. So they're both getting hyped up in their respective corners. Basically, both of their coaches are telling them the one with the most grit is gonna win. So at the start of round 2, they're both exchanging blows back and forth. Ippo dodges one of Oda's hits and hits him with 2 body blows back to back. Even Miyata, who's watching from the crowd, is impressed with his infighting. He's able to push Oda back into a corner, and when he rushes him to try and do more damage, he gets counter punched. But this time, Oda is staying in the corner. He's not advancing. They're about equal in the amount of punches they're landing, but Ippo's power is really starting to show. Oda's legs are starting to give up on him. So after a little breather, they go right back to exchanging punches. It's looking neck and neck, and everybody's in the crowd invested. Unk and the gang, Reiko, the trainer. Ippo really starts to show his edge when he hits Oda with a crazy punch in the stomach, getting his first knockdown. But Oda been locked in on his training, so we know that's not enough to keep him down. He's like, there's no way this gonna be my last time in the ring after everybody been calling me weak and gutless. Ippo realizes this is his chance to get a knockout. So when the round continues, he instantly rushes him, but he slips and Oda's punch barely grazes him. But then the ref stops the match. Turns out Ippo got a cut on his eye, and they need to call the doctor. With a bad enough injury like this, the doctor could call the match off and he'd lose by technical knockout. The doctor's like, fortunately, it didn't reach too deep, so you can go ahead and patch up the cut, but if it gets opened up again, we're gonna have to call the match. So the second round finishes and Gramps stops the bleeding for him. He tells him, I did my job as the cut man to stop the wound, but it's your job as the boxer to not open it up again. So go in and knock him out real quick. Oda's on his side like, now's my lucky chance. If I can just reopen up the cut, I'll win. Like he said earlier, he's trying to win by any means possible. So the third round starts and Oda gets straight to clinching. He's just spamming punches right there on Ippo's eye, trying to get that cut open so he can get the win. He held his block up the entire time, but when he put his glove down, it was bleeding. Just a little bit more and they'll call the match done. And Oda knows that. Just about every punch is aimed right towards that left eye. Since Ippo has to keep his guard up, he can't manage to get any hits off. So out of desperation, he decides to take a gamble. He shifts his right foot forward, inverting his stance, also known as southpaw style. He's ultimately doing this to put his injured eye further away from Oda, but instead of jabbing with his left like he's used to, he's gonna have to do it with his right. So he moved towards Oda, throwing his first jab. But even he's shocked at how trash these jabs are. Not only are they slow, but they're weak and they feel weird in general. So Oda realizes he don't got nothing to fear and starts going in. He's throwing punches on punches, even managing to slightly reopen the wound, launching blood on the floor. The trainer's like, hurry up and call the match. Ippo's just sitting there blocking for his life while Oda's just continuing to send endless punches. Ippo's trying to think why he can't jab with his right like he does with his left. He's like, I started out jabbing, but then he remembers how he struggled to throw jabs back before he even knew what jabs were. But then he finally realizes what he's doing wrong. But at the same time, Oda finally connects a punch on that left eye. The ref starts to move up, ready to call off the match, but Ippo loosens his grip on his fist and is able to intercept one of Oda's punches with a jab on his right. So he hits him with another one, and he just lets off a ton of jabs right to Oda's face. He finally knocks him off balance after like 20 jabs, and that's when Gramps tells him to use a left straight, but when he throws it, the ref stops the match. Both Ippo and Gramps are like, no way. And Oda's trainer starts to get happy, but it was too late. At the beginning of the round, Oda's legs were already starting to give up on him, and turns out that barrage of jabs from Ippo was enough to knock him out. So the ref checks to see if he's still conscious, but Oda's gone. So the ref calls it. My man Ippo won his first pro boxing match.